My name is Barbara Rubio. The name of my business is Camokai Studio, and I make quilts. Or I started making quilts, but now I've moved into quilting everything, and I make all kinds of items. I started quilting over 25 years ago, and I learned from my grandmother. So as a kid, I always received quilts for my birthday and special occasions, and then later on, visiting my grandmother as an adult, she taught me how to quilt. So quilting is really interesting. It's really about the stitching of 3 layers of fabric. A lot of people just think a quilt is like a blanket or something you put onto the bed. And quilting is actually sewing the top of pieces of fabric together, but it's really sewing all the layers together to make a quilted item. So Hawaiian Mission House is one of the oldest craft fairs on the island. And so when I first started my business 4 years ago, I was actually just doing my website and working from home, and then I slowly started going into the craft fairs. And I had heard about Mission House and I had visited it, and it had some of the oldest artwork of where they were still weaving the hats and they were hand making the leis, and I just thought quilting was a great thing to bring to that craft fair. It's connected me into a whole new community of, like I said, the older artisans and the history of really different Hawaiian crafts and different ideas really to go into the art. And so every year I'm always creating new items, and you get inspiration from other artists. So one of the things that I'm really proud of that has nothing to do with quilting and stitching like I mentioned, but it's about art. And I connected with the painter, local artist, and she painted Pono. And we collaborated, and I printed it onto fabric, and I made these scarves. But I also have quilts with Pono inserted into the quilts, and so those are my art quilts. I also use Jam's World remnants. So Jam's World is a Hawaiian clothing company, and they've been around since 1960, and I make these wonderful throws. They're machine washable. I put a batik on the back, and then you have the nice pretty rayon on the front. I do table runners, and I stitch out the designs in the table runner. I did some Christmas stockings, and again, it's the patchwork of quilting, all different fabrics left over, and then as you can see with the gold thread, I've stitched on top of it. And then lastly, this is another scarf. There's only 2 scarves this year, and this Mission House is the first place they'll be sold. They're exclusive to here, and this is my tribute to Hawaiian quilters. And so Hawaiian quilting is not a craft that I pick up, but it's definitely something that I honor the work that they did because they hand sew. Everything is handcrafted by me, and so it's not mass quantity. It takes time to make, and everything is unique. There are no 2 items alike. So if you're looking for a pair of stockings or matching quilts for twins, you're not going to find that with me, but you will find one-of-a-kind unique items that you won't find anywhere else.